Hello and a good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope you're taking everything Grant and all is well in your world. Hello there everybody. Full video people of the tube on the Grote L1. It's still a weird name to me. This guitar here. I already did a video on this one asking did I get a bad guitar? Yeah, did I just get a bad one of these? You know, because it was so bad. I just couldn't believe my eyeballs. I really couldn't. Anyway, people of the tube, this video is entitled, Was It Worth It? The answer to that question is already yes. So I have done a lot of work to this guitar. It's took me 2 days to get this guitar right. And it's took a lot of work. But this is now a great guitar. It will never be my guitar, sadly. And that really pains me to say that, but it's a great guitar. It feels great, it plays great, it's intonated, the frets are great. It's there. It makes music. It's still got a wonky neck, but that doesn't matter. It plays in tune and it plays greatly and it works. And my God, does it scream and sing. It really does. And I say I've done a little song for the outro of this video. I don't know what to call it yet, but like, it lives, people of the tube. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. Yes, it was, because this thing feels incredible to play. It really does. The neck was always amazing. As soon as I put my hand on the neck, I was like, "That's amazing." It was just that all sorts of other things let it down. The action and the no intonation. It was a pig, basically, lack of a better word. So what have I done to it? So first things first. What I did was, like I say, I'd already done the nut by the time I did the first video. The main issue I had is I couldn't get the guitar intonate. It wouldn't intonate because the bridge is the wrong angle, and well, it appears to be at the wrong angle. It kind of still is, to be honest with you. And I just couldn't get it intonated. So what I've done, and this is something I've done with quite a few guitars in my life, especially kind of like cheap Les Paul kind of models with the stop tailpiece, is I had to disassemble the bridge basically for the E, A, and D strings. I had to take the saddles out and I flipped them around because basically, let me see if I can draw this, people of the tube, quickly. I'm sure a lot of you know what a Les Paul saddle looks like. You know, it kind of, you know, it looks like this. This is my amazing artwork that you probably, oh yeah, there you go. So it's got this kind of like slant bit there where the string goes over, and it looks like that. And invariably, usually, God, I'm so good at English. I got a C in my GCSEs. I think that's pretty good. Anyway, after I failed it the first time, but let's not talk about that. So the saddles on the G, B, and E strings normally have a tall bit there, and they fall away like that. Whereas on the E, A, and D strings, they normally have a tall bit there, and they fall away like that. They're reversed. I don't know which way around that would be. So for you looking, people of the tube, that would be, so they fall that way for me. So that's the E, A, and the G, B, and E strings fall away that way, and the E, A, and D fall away this way. So what I had to do is I had to take the E, A, and D string saddles out, and this was a bit of a long shot. I didn't think this would work because it was so, the intonation on the E, A, and D was so far out. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I had to try this before I gave it to anybody else to start drilling more holes in the thing to get it to intonate. So I had to take the saddles out, and to do that, there was basically this wire holding the saddle in. So I had to bend this, get these two bits of wire that were holding these saddles in out, which are not necessary at all. I don't know why they were there. They weren't there to hold the screws in because the screw goes all the way through the tailpiece. So if the screw goes from one end to the other, there was no need for this bit of wire to be in there. It was just extra nonsense. Anyway, that took a long time because it was really fiddly, and I had to take it out and basically take the saddle out, turn it around, put it back in. So I have like a millimeter, if that, more adjustment this way. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this picture. Probably not. Oh, you might be able to, but you can see all the saddles are the same way round now. And they shouldn't be. Like I say, the E, A, and D strings should be the other way around. But this is something I've found that works occasionally on some guitars like this when the bridge is put in the wrong place. And basically what I had to do is wind them all the way forward. And luckily, because the bridge is on an angle, it actually intonated. But you can see there is no more movement in those saddles. There's barely any movement in the E, B, and G string saddles, but there is no movement in the E, A, and D. Basically, if this guitar, it won't lose intonation now, it's intonated, that's where it needs to be. But if this bridge was any further back, forget it. We wouldn't have been able to intonate. We'd have had to have moved the bridge, and that would have been a hell of a job. And it would have, you would probably wreck the top, and it would be a mess, and you'd be able to see that it had been moved. But I looked out, people of the tube, and this is... It's really important to try everything before you go for the drastic route. And I immediately went for the drastic route initially. I was like, I'm gonna have to take the bridge off, dowel the original hole with glue, sand that back, and then drill a new hole to readjust the bridge. Luckily, like I said, I looked out, flipped the saddles round this way, and basically wound them all the way forward, and now it's in tune with itself. It's intonated, it really is in tune with itself. It's great. So I looked out on that one, but it worked, and that made an immense difference to the way this guitar felt to play. It was really strange. So that was sorted. So we had it intonated. Finally, we had it intonated. So the next thing I did, I had to do some fret level polishing and I did a fret level crown and polish because they were just horrific. And I've done that. I've got rid of all the lumps and bumps. There's no horrible scratchy noise on there anymore. It plays on every fret. It bends on every fret. And I've got rid of the sharp edges on the sides as well. The frets were stuck out the side. I've got rid of them on all the way up and down. They're all gone. I redid the nut a little bit more. I sanded it down a bit more, made it look a bit more nice. Balanced the pickups. And we've got a guitar per tube that always wanted to be a guitar, wasn't given the best look in life, but it's alive, and it sings, and it screams, and it plays, and it's ready to live. It really is. And I'm very happy. I am very, very, very happy that I can finish this story of this guitar with a happy ending instead of going, no, it was still terrible after I did all the work. It isn't. The action is spot on now. It's amazingly nice. It really is lovely. I had to tweak the truss rod a bit more, just to kind of like get the neck right, because it wasn't right at all. Another thing I've done as well is I've sanded. I haven't got a new nut for the guitar, but what I have done is I've sanded the binding down to where the nut is, and I've sanded this part of the neck down. You can't tell that I've sanded it, but I've sanded it down so there's no real nasty ridgeline there. It could possibly still do with a new nut at some point, but this one's doing its job really well. So it's just kind of like, it's not a big issue, you know what I mean? It's no longer sharp, it doesn't cut you. So that's okay, and that's fine. So I'm happy with that. And it just works. It just works, and I'm so happy that it works. Like I say, I unfortunately, the only thing that's the problem now is I've disconnected from the guitar because I've had to do so much to it. And because of how it came, it's such a mess that this guitar will be going to somebody else. But I'm so happy this can go to somebody else in this condition, not the condition it came to me. I'm so happy that this can go to somebody and they can play it and they can love it and they can make music with it, and it's going to do its job, and it's going to do it blooming well. You know what I mean? I'm so happy. I bet you can't tell. It's really cheered me up. It's really cheered me up because I really was on a downer with this thing. And to be able to just kind of like be able now to move it on to somebody who can make music with it and love it, because I love it, but I can't be in love with it, if that makes sense. That sounds really stupid, but I can move this on knowing that it's a great guitar now, and it works and it plays and it looks stunning, especially without the scratch plate with YouTube. Doesn't that look amazing? I mean, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but look, there's a great tobacco burst. It really is. And the fretboard is just to die for. I do believe it is rosewood, but... And the flame back as well, which is so cool. There you go. You got it. Yeah, you can see it there. This guitar is stunning. It really is. It's stunning. It feels great. It plays great. It sounds great. It is great. And these pickups are fantastic. The electrics are fantastic. Everything works. It all works. And I'm so happy about that. So, yeah, was it worth it? Yeah. Worth every second. I mean, it took me 2 days. Not constant work, obviously, because I had to do other things. But it took me 2 days to get this done. And then, like, just let it settle. But here we are, and it's... Job's a good one. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. And like I say, it just works. It just works with YouTube. But 'tis a cautionary tale. Be aware of that name. I hate to say that, but hopefully this was just a kink in the armour, if you will. It's like, you know, a wrong un that's been made a righty now. But hopefully it was just a wrong guitar. It was, you know, it's a Friday afternoon, no one cared. Hopefully this isn't indicative of this company's guitars. You know, I'm tempted to get another one in the future when I can afford to, just to see what happens. And if that one comes like this, then... if it came like this one, I'll just be sending it back. I wouldn't be doing what I've done to this one. Literally, if it comes out of the box and it was like this one was when it came out of the box, I'd just be going straight back in and going straight off again. I wouldn't be trying again. Let's put it that way. But I do feel that, like, this guitar is now finished. It can live. It can breathe. It can go on and make music and just be the guitar it wanted to be in the first place. You know, you can feel it in it. You can feel it in when you play it. It wants to live. It wants to sing. And that was why I couldn't give up on it. I just can't. I can't do that kind of thing. It's just not for me to... I can't leave a guitar behind. I can't. Might sound a bit stupid, but they really mean the world to me, guitars do. And when they're not right, it really upsets me, and I have to go. I have to fix it. I have to do something within all my ability to get the thing to work. I have to do that. And it's so rewarding, I feel. And again, like I say, this guitar could go to somebody now and it could be their main guitar. You know, it really could. Who knows? I mean, who knows where this guitar is going to be in a couple of years' time. Hopefully not broken. Let's put it that way. But I'm so happy I got it intonated. Like I say, it is intonated now. It won't need readjusting. Yeah, it really will. It really will not. It'll be fine. It's just a solid thing. It really is, and it's just ready to get out into the world. It really is. Happy as the Dave. Anyway, PeelTube, there you go. I'm happy to be able to bring you like a part 2 to the Grote L1. That needs tightening up though. That's me constantly messing with the selector switch. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy the noises this thing's about to make, and hopefully it's okay. And yeah, I'll see you again for another video very, very soon, PeelTube. I hope you enjoyed this one. Like I said, I'm happy to bring you a what do you call it? A happy ending. A happy ending. And yes, it was worth it. It was definitely worth keeping it and working on it and getting it right. It really was. So, I hope you enjoyed the vid, PeelTube. If you like the videos I do on this channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Links to that down there in the description box. As well as links to my Bandcamp, where you can listen to my music. Other than that, Pikachu, thank you so much for watching. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now from me and this stunning beast. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. I'll say it again. Always say it twice. Don't you agree?